I'm Bubs, and I'm here to give you a bit of a crash course on hand anatomy in case you needed it. This will be the absolute basics, but if you have trouble with drawing hands, this might be a helpful lesson or refresher all the same. First things first, there are a ton of ways to stylize hands, and you can have cartoony hands that still read as hands despite not having all the expected anatomical features. However, keep in mind that when you are stylizing a body part, you are not ignoring the anatomy of the feature, but rather you are abstracting the anatomy. This is why stylized features can still look uncanny and wonky, which is obviously not fantastic if that's not what you're going for. The basic shape of the hand when broken down into boxier shapes is fairly uncomplicated. The palm is a slightly oblong rectangle, though in younger folks it may appear closer to a straight-up square, with long skinny rectangles popping out of the top and side. All of your fingers will be roughly the same width. Definitely not exactly, but generally speaking, on the average hand, you probably won't have one finger that is way thicker than the others. The most important thing to pay attention to is the length of the fingers. The pinky will be the shortest, generally ending about halfway up your ring finger, but your ring, middle, and index finger will make this kind of up and down shape when you hold your hand flat. Your thumb, also while your hand is flat, will take up the length of the base of your palm to the top of it. One of the biggest missteps I usually see, and fall into myself sometimes, when it comes to awkward hand posing is not to do with improper finger length or anything like that, but poorly placed finger joints. All your fingers have 3 joints. The first joint is your knuckle at the very base of your finger, then you have the second joint halfway between the base and the end of your finger, and the third and final joint is about halfway between the second joint and the end of your finger. All 3 of these joints are hinge joints, which in non-scientific terms just means that they have the greatest range of motion when bending one direction, and in the case of your fingers, that means toward your palm. The thumb is an outlier among your fingers, however. The thumb also has 3 joints that fall at roughly the same locations as the rest of the fingers, and the top 2 joints are also hinge joints, but the base joint is something called a saddle joint. Rather than being connected to bones in the palm that then connect to the wrist like your other 4 fingers, your thumb locks directly into your wrist with a highly specialized joint that allows for multi-directional movement. It is the reason we have opposable thumbs. The takeaway for our purposes is to keep in mind that this specialized joint means that the thumb is able to move in ways that the rest of your fingers cannot. Hope this helps. See ya!